Alright, I'm back. And I brought snacks. And a cat. Who I'm petting. Pet that pussy. Also, I don't know how I'm going to splice these videos together. It's going to be interesting. Right. Wednesday will probably be crying over here. So she's like, why are you sitting over here? Ranting? Okie doke. ¿Por dónde íbamos? Let's continue. Oh my Jesus, Lord Almighty, what is this? Oh, okie dokie, artichoke. You've got to cut yourself. All right, she's beating up the potatoes. A cut was the least of Tem's worries. She threw the. Also, I should probably. Alright. She threw down the knife in exasperation. I'm not ready, Mother. Oh, right. What if I'm inadequate? All girls are inadequate. Not all girls trust me. Okay. Tem sighed. It was no use. Her mother simply didn't understand. Tem had absolutely everything to fear. Inadequacy was but a single feather on the wing of her insecurities. Tem couldn't imagine a scarier scenario than the one she was about to experience. And yet, the dream ran through her mind. If what awaited her in the caves was anything like what had happened in the dream, she knew she had no reason to fear. It's nearly nightfall. Why don't you go get ready? Tem nodded, and anything was better than chopping potatoes. Them poor potatoes, what'd they do to her? She retreated to the bathroom, drawing a bath and washing quickly, trying not to think about every inch of her naked body. When she returned to the kitchen, her mother gestured to the bench. Sit. Tem sat. Her mother tapped her on the knees. Pull up your skirt, my dear. This scene is weird. Why? Her mother held up 2 amber glass vials. We must apply oils to your thighs. The oily thighs. Tem frowned. She didn't want to go into the cave with oily thighs. What for? Ylang for bravery. Sandalwood for heat. Which, I work with somebody who knows herbs, and I almost want to tell her this and just watch her reaction. Sandalwood for heat. They will give you courage and capture the eye of the basilisk because they'll see your oily thighs. Don't you mean the nose of the basilisk? Like the attention because it's the smell, not the... I can't. Hopefully not literally, Tem muttered as she pulled up her skirt because, they had to make that joke, didn't they? Of course not, my dear. You know what I mean. I hate this. Tem sighed, watching as her mother took the stoppers from the vials and spread the oils on her thighs. She rubbed them with warm fingers, leaving the skin shiny and bright. The rich woodland softness of the sandalwood was an appropriate mate for the floral depths of ylang. Mate? Oh, we're gonna have mating. We're gonna have the fated mate situation, aren't we? Tem could imagine how the scents would entice a man. But was it truly a man she was to entice? Mother, Tem said tentatively as her mother resealed the vials. What will it be like? She'd never asked her mother about her own time in the caves. But her mother had been just like Tem, born in the same year as a prince, and she had participated in the same training. The current king hadn't chosen Tem's mother as his wife. Oh, see, I'm telling you, Tem is a princess. But Tem often wondered what her life would have been like if he had. Her mother sighed deeply, and for the first time that evening, her brow softened. She looked like she was remembering something significant. It will be transformative. You will take the first step to becoming a woman. I thought I was one already. At 20. Not nearly, my dear. You have barely begun to live. You cannot possibly fathom the journeys you're about to embark on. last Wednesday. Her mother tugged Tem's dress down, stepping back to look at her fully. Now remember, this is but the first of many nights. Do not offend him, or else he will not allow you to come back. How would I offend him? Cora willing, you won't. But knowing you, you'll find a way. Jesus Christ, this woman is surrounded by just like the most unsupportive motherfuckers, I swear. Tem sighed. Her mom wasn't exactly wrong. Jesus, I can't. The insecurities. You must remember to be polite, her mother continued, and to defer to him completely. You are a woman and he is a man. You are the student and he is the teacher. Blech. This is not the time for your headstrong nonsense. You will do as he says and try to learn something. I hate it. Tem nodded, although her stomach had turned into a tangled mess. She was no good at following instructions. She never had been. Why would she be good at this most important fundamental thing? I'm hopeless, Mother, she whispered, her eyes on the ground. No, my dear, her mom said kindly, placing her palms on Tem's shoulders. No girl is hopeless. This is supposed to be like uplifting, and I'm like, ugh. Her words were of no concern to Tem. She craved specificity from her mother. She wanted to hear she wanted to hear that she herself wasn't hopeless. But that was not what she expected, and it was not what her mother provided. There would be no specificity, there would be no cuddling for Tem tonight, or any night. There was only the task at hand and her willingness to complete it. Is it nearly time? Her mother said. No, sorry. It is nearly time, her mother said. Come. Ha! Sorry, Wednesday's in the background begging for playtime. Meow, meow. Tem nodded, following her mother out the front door and along the cobblestone path to the street. I will play with her after. We're almost done. Ya voy, chiquinchis. She's not locked up anywhere, by the way. She's free to roam around and play with her toys, but no. She could see Vera ahead of her, following her own mother out of their cottage. By the time they reached the edge of the trees, Tem was last in line of the 14 girls and their mothers. They walked as if in a trance, nobody speaking, as they followed the long dirt path into the woods. It was a chilly night, one of the first nights of autumn. Tem tried to calm herself down, but it was no use. Her thighs were oily, and her head was light. She felt as if she might be sick. She was seriously considering turning around and sprinting home when suddenly the wall loomed in front of them. Tem had never been beyond it. She knew there were doors at various points along it, but had never gone through it. They weren't even locked. Locks weren't necessary when the mirrored exterior was protection enough. But the thought of running into a basilisk in its true form and risk being turned to stone by its deadly gaze was plenty of motivation to stay within the wall. Queen cheese. Tem said a silent prayer to Cora as she passed through the door. As soon as they were outside the wall, Tem saw that they were at the base of the mountains. The line of girls stopped before a long row of caves, each entrance a gaping mouth in the moonlight. For a long moment, nothing happened, and then, through the haze of the evening gloom, a figure emerged from the shadows. Tem's heart cut in her throat. She was too far away to see it clearly, but close enough to know that it was wearing its human form, as expected. That was part of the deal. None of the girls vying for the prince's hand would die in the caves. It would violate the truce. Of course, Tem found it hard to trust an agreement that was made hundreds of years ago, but she had no choice. Besides her, Tem's mother grasped her wrists. Be brave, child. Speaking of child, niñita. Tem didn't have to turn around to know she was gone. All the other mothers were leaving too, kissing and embracing their daughters before disappearing back into the path until only the girls were left standing alone in the cold. Nobody said a word. It's all weird. Like mom basically taking their daughters to be sacrificial sexual lambs. Just like, what the fuck? Tem realized that despite being told about the training nearly every day for the better part of her life, she had no idea what actually happened next. How would she know which basilisk she would be paired with? Would she be the one to choose, or would they? Before she could ask the girl next to her, the basilisks stepped forward. "You have come here to learn," he said, his voice echoing against the rocks. "At the end of the training, the prince will select only one of you as his wife." Silence. It wasn't exactly new information. Still, it was jarring to hear it now, moments before it was about to begin. "It is our job to prepare you for that honor." I feel like I should add extra X's. I should be like, His eyes flicked over them, and Tem flinched when they landed on her. "Proceed to your caves." Nobody moved. How were they supposed to know which caves was theirs? They awaited further instructions, but the basilisks didn't speak again. Or the basilisk, I guess. Some unnamed basilisk. To Tem's satisfaction, even Vera looked nervous. Suddenly, the girl in front of her gave a short, garbled scream before turning and running back towards the wall. She disappeared through the door a moment later. 1 down, 13 to go. Somehow, the deserter gave Tem strength. She was no coward. She would not run. She had come here to make her mother proud, and more importantly, to make herself proud. Okay, finally, one nice line in this whole entire chapter. She may not care about the prince, but she did care about a life beyond the chicken coop. Never mind. I take it back. She owed it to herself to find it. She can't smell like chicken shit all the time. Before she could talk herself out of it, Tem stepped forward. Everyone looked at her, but she ignored them. Instead, she concentrated on the caves, staring at each of them in turn. 14 caves, 14 basilisks. It was no use. She closed her eyes. The second she did so, something came to her unbidden. The sensation was like a light in the dark calling to her. She moved to follow it, walking towards the farthest cave, feeling a shadow of what she had felt in the dream. A soothing warmth that drew her in. She knew, somehow, that she was heading in the right direction. She didn't see whether the other girls followed her lead. Instead, she clambered over the rocks to reach the entrance of the cave before slipping into the pitch black. It was warm, like a vagina, almost uncomfortably so. It took her eyes a moment to adjust, but once they did, she saw there was a dim light in the distance. She walked towards it, eventually finding herself in a room lit by the firelight. In front of her stood her basilisk. The end of chapter 1! Okie dokie, this took significantly longer than I expected. I am not doing a second chapter because I digged around for a little too long. So, next time, basically no intro, and maybe I'll try and make it a little bit quicker. Alright guys, hope you like this. Like, subscribe to the channel. We'll see. I'm never gonna do this professionally. No, this is for me. This is for me and my friends. Alright, love y'all. Bye. Ciao, 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 ciao.